As a parent, have you ever had to stand up to a teacher or principal who was bullying your child at school? When my son was in 6th grade, he came home one day and asked, "Mom, is it verbal abuse if a teacher calls kids stupid?" That got my attention. He explained that his teacher constantly berated the class, calling them dumb, idiots, and worse if they struggled to understand something. He said some kids were really upset, and he didn't think it was okay. I expected him to ask me to call the school. Instead, he said, "You haven't heard it, so they won't take you seriously. But I have. I'll stand up for myself. You just back me up." A few days later, she started another rant. Right in the middle of it, he stood up, calmly packed his bag, and walked toward the door. "Where do you think you're going?" she snapped. "This is verbal abuse. I don't have to take it. I'm going to the office to report you." She completely lost it. She followed him, screaming all the way down the hall. Other teachers peeked out of their classrooms. Students stared. By the time they reached the office, half the school had heard her losing her mind. The principal barely reacted, just an exasperated sigh. "She's strict, but she's a great teacher," he said, brushing it off. The teacher, suddenly calm, claimed my son was lying. Other kids had reported her, but nothing ever happened. But they messed up this time. She had screamed at my son in front of too many witnesses. By the time I got to the school, other parents were already calling in, sharing their own kids' stories. Some had emails, others had recordings. Turns out this wasn't just a bad teacher. It was a system covering for her. And the next morning, she was gone. A week later, so was the principal. Proud of my kid.